Greetings, dear viewer, and welcome to Purposes Crossed, where I hope that people who are called by Jesus for different purposes cross paths and exchange ideas. In this video, we continue with our series of devotions on the Psalms, and today we will deal with Psalm 29. Psalm 29 is a song of straightforward praise that extols the various characteristics of God. There are many such pure praise psalms in the book of the Psalms. In Psalm 29 is just one of them. But Psalm 29, with its various references to water, storms, and thunder, seems to have been written as a polemic against Baal, who was the Canaanite storm god. The psalm begins by calling the sons of God to ascribe to Yahweh all the glory that is due to him. The phrase sons of God is a reference to Yahweh's divine council, a group of supernatural beings to whom Yahweh delegates some aspect of rule within creation. They do not appear very often in the Old Testament. However, when they do make an appearance, it seems that the purpose is to establish that while they constitute Yahweh's divine counsel, Yahweh is unique and completely different. He not only presides over the council, but has no equal within it. He is the one who directs the actions of the other members of the council. During the period of Israel's monarchy, as well as during the later exilic and post-exilic periods, Israel's neighbors had a polytheistic worldview. In such a worldview, there were multiple gods, each supervening some small aspect of life. So there was a god for the sun, a god for the harvest, a god for the rain, and so on. And a common view was that the occurrences on earth reflected the state in heaven. So when it was raining, it meant that the rain god had gained supremacy over the other gods. And when the rain subsided and the sun began to shine, it meant the sun god had defeated the rain god to exercise his dominance. But such a worldview fuels fear. After all, we know how fickle the weather can be and how unpredictable and dependent on the fickle weather the harvests are. Since there was no way of knowing when it would rain and when the rains would stop, there was always the fear that the delayed or prolonged rains were because the rain god was angry at someone. Moreover, the same circumstance could also have multiple interpretations. If it rained too much, it could either mean that the rain god was angry and lashing out, or that the sun god was angry and not restraining the rain god sufficiently. Since there was no certainty of interpretation, fear grew among the people. And when fear abounds, it is easy for wicked priests and rulers to prey on the common folk, stripping them of their livelihoods and making them their slaves. This is the natural and quite common consequence of holding to a polytheistic worldview. In contrast, Psalm 29 presents the divine council as being called upon to praise Yahweh, who alone deserves all the glory, all the admiration, all the praise. While it may be the case that the divine council members are commissioned by Yahweh to exercise authority in some sphere of life, they are answerable to him and are not free to act as and how they desire. Psalm 29 presents a different worldview, therefore, one in which there is only one God, namely Yahweh, and it presents life in a totally different perspective. Yes, we will have difficulties in life. There are thunder and mighty waters that can become life-threatening. Lightning can strike trees and strip them completely, causing consuming fires all around. The thunder during a storm can cause the mountains to be shaken up. Earthquakes, forest fires, floods, drought, storm, tsunamis can all threaten us at any time. However, these natural disasters are not the result of battles between warring gods in the heavens. Rather, over all these things, Yahweh reigns supreme. Rather than being a sign of his absence or his punishment on disobedient people, the natural disasters are a sign of his presence, for it is his presence that causes creation to convulse in worship. And because of this, Yahweh's people do not need to be afraid, for there is no cause for fear. The natural disasters that result in fear among polytheists do not have the same effect on Yahweh's people, because they know that Yahweh himself sits enthroned over the floods. His reign is not threatened, and if his reign is not threatened, then neither is the security of his people.